Yo, live on the set. I'm your host.
Brother Jeremiah with Real Talk Radio LLC. Where I talk.
It's always real.
Very simple answer to one question. Do you hate all white people?
I don't think it's a fair question. The white man doesn't even come into my attitude. Mr. Muhammad teaches us to love our own kind and let the white man take care of himself. For a white man today, sir, after kidnapping millions of black people from Africa, stripping them of all human characteristics and relegating them to the role of chattel or animals, commodity, merchandise that could be bought and sold at will. And then 100 years since the Emancipation Proclamation, using every type of deceptive method to further us into slavery, called second-class citizenship, I think that it would take a whole lot of nerve for white people today to ask Negroes, do they hate them?
Can I have your name and badge number?
Well, come here.
My name is Gonsalves.
What's your name and badge number?
It's right there. Are you filming it?
I said passe to you.
Okay.
Could you please have your sergeant to come by, please?
I will.
Right now in Qatar, a country playing a lot of double games these days, ceasefire negotiations set to resume between Israel and Hamas, as Israel still fights to defend itself from the brutal military attack on their country. When more than 12 hours still Hamas holds Mr. Prime Minister, thank you very much for being with us. Ceasefire at this point are extortion on behalf of Hamas. But you're talking a lot about the offensive. How does that play into getting Hamas to a place where they're prepared to negotiate?
The only thing that makes us to bring out already half of the hostages. That's what will enable us to get the remaining hostages. At the same time, there has to be pressure from Qatar. He has enormous influence on Hamas, and they should be pressed to press that. So the fact that we're going to destroy the remaining Hamas terrorist battalions in Rafah doesn't eradicating the Hamas, but also important for many hostages. These are complementary activities. They're not
How many Hamas fighters and terrorists remain in Rafah? What kind of force are we talking about?
We've destroyed about 19 of the Hamas terrorist battalions. So there are about 4 in Rafah. We have to destroy them. When people tell us don't go into Rafah, that's like telling the Allies, listen, don't go into Britain. Leave a quarter of the Nazi army intact. That's ridiculous. If we leave a quarter of the Hamas place, regroup, reconquer Gaza, and in fact, perpetrate once again what they vowed to do, which is to repeat the massacre over.
What's your name and badge?
We need a total victory.
Are you filming it?
Within reach, we should do it. We're going to do it while we enable the civilian population in Rafah to leave, as we've done up to now. But we have to finish the job. We need total victory. There's no substitute for total victory.
There's no doubt this is a fight that Israel needs to finish, considering what occurred. Yet you already hear in our media and from our leadership, we're going to get to that in a moment, renewed calls again for a two-state solution. What's your view on these calls for a Palestinian state?
Well, it's not only my view. It's the view of the vast majority of Israelis who believe that at this time to have a Palestinian state would be basically a formula for creating a platform, the greatest reward for terrorism in history, and it would create a platform for attacking Israel. In fact, Hamas had a de facto
Jim Freedom, resident of Earth. I know what you're thinking. Oh boy, here comes that annoying Freedom guy. He's coming up here to, I'm the guy that thinks the Constitution trumps your meeting rules. How silly of me, I know. I don't actually believe that, though. I'm more aligned with Lysander Spooner, who pointed out that the Constitution has either authorized such a government as we've had, or it's been powerless to prevent it. Either way, it's unfit to exist. We need something new. I do what I do just to prove that the supreme law of the land is a stupid joke, and none of you follow its rules. We'll never be able to fix the problems in our society when our representatives don't play by the rules that we all thought were in place. To the people watching online or later, your anger is righteous and justified. The servants have written their own new rules that contradict freedom and use their army of order-following cowards with badges to punish enough of us effectively, making us their servants. Don't you dare walk across that street in a place we don't like. Don't you dare make certain noises with your mouth that we don't like. Don't you dare try to record public court proceedings. Don't you dare grow a fruit garden in your own front yard. Don't you dare assemble a protest in a way or place we don't like. Don't you dare travel in a vehicle without using a seatbelt. Don't you dare sell tamales without paying for our permission first. You see where I'm going with this? These are all violations of freedom that you all just think are normal, and they're unacceptable. To a society that thinks that these threats are acceptable, that's a profoundly...
There'll be a lot of conversation about debt structure, particularly the role about China in writing down debt in this issue to a lot of developing countries. The new president of the World Bank, has laid out a new strategy for the bank to eradicate poverty on a livable planet. That's his way of making climate change and sustainability key to the bank's activities. Ajay Banga will talk about how climate itself has a significant impact on poverty and how the two have to go hand in hand. Much of the discussion will revolve around resources for the IMF and the World Bank. There isn't a lot of support in the U.S. Congress for putting more resources into these institutions. Many of the issues that development organizations are urging.
I think Schumer's statements are wholly inappropriate.
Your guns are not bombs. Your guns are the rejects. You don't know about percussion grenades. You don't know about direct energy weapons. You don't know about none of this. You don't know about DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency that has robotic mosquitoes, robotic snakes, robotic dogs and cheetahs. You don't know about that. They assassinate you with something that looks natural. And you talking about iPhone 5, click, click.
People will say, oh, well,
you don't know what type of enemy you is. You talk about what you're dealing with.
President Bush resign. It's inappropriate. It shouldn't have been said. It's wrong. As far as my considerations, they're not for my personal survival. They are for the survival of the Jewish state, and that requires pursuing the war, something that supports that my government enjoys the support of the overwhelming majority of Israelis. And let me tell you, not only the majority of Israelis, the majority of the American people, 80% support Israel.
What's your name and address?
Over 5 months of the war against Hamas and not Hamas. So, I don't know why
Could you please have your sergeant come by, please?
I think the only thing that we should be focused on is changing the regime in Gaza, bringing down the terrorist regime of Hamas, and not the duly elected government of Israel. That's the right policy.
Well, as you know, Donald Trump is a front runner on the Republican side. He was recently asked about what Joe said on this topic. Here's what he
He just said essentially that people in Netanyahu should take a walk.
Do you feel like you're losing support, Mr. Prime Minister?
Well, I hope not. First of all, let me say that I appreciate President Trump's tremendous support for Israel. When he was president, he recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital. He moved the American embassy there. He recognized our sovereignty in the Golan Heights. He got out of the disastrous Iran nuclear deal. And he also, together, we worked and brokered the historic Abraham Accords, which brought peace with 4 Arab states. Equally, I appreciate the fact that right from the start of President Biden, I stood with Israel, came here, she people, sent carrier groups, aircraft carriers to the region, and set aside an issue. So I hope that support will continue. But I'll tell you one thing. Look, I can tell you, and I said this to President Biden early on, we had a discussion, we had some differences on whether we should enter this. And I said,
What's your name and address?
if we have to go,
Are you filming it?
Could you please have your sergeant to come by, please?
because they understand that our war is your, our victory is your victory. That's why I think we'll continue to enjoy the support of the vast majority of the American public.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, thank you for joining us on Fox and Friends Weekend. Godspeed in your fight, sir.
White people think they're better than black people, and they want to oppress us, and they want us to allow ourselves to be oppressed. I can't solve the problem. You guys pull the strings that close schools. You guys draw the boundaries that keep our kids restricted to the ghetto. You guys write up the restrictive covenants that keep us out of houses. So it's up to you to talk to your brothers and your sisters and persuade them that they have a responsibility. We've assumed ours for over 400 years, and we're tired of this kind of stuff now. We're not going to suffer patiently anymore. No more turning the other cheek. No more blessing our enemies. No more praying for those who despitefully use us. We're going to show you that we've learned the lessons you've taught us. We've studied your history, and you did not take over this country by singing "We Shall Overcome." You did not gain control of the world like you have it now by dealing fairly with a man and keeping your word. You're treaty breakers, you're liars, you're thieves, you rape entire continents and races of people. Then you wonder why these very people don't have any confidence or trust in you. Your religion means nothing. Your law is a farce, and we see it every day. You demonstrated it, and you couldn't walk around and talk to people, stand up in your pulpit on Sunday and preach nice little songs and say, now we're going to give thanks to the Lord for he is good and old Jesus be among us. As far as we're concerned, your Jesus is contaminated, just like everything else you've tried before the furnace is contaminated.